I was going over the Cork and Kerry Mountains, I met old Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced me pistol and then produced me rapier, saying stand and deliver, or the devil he may take you. Mushering 'em, doom a die. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I counted up his money and it made a pretty penny, so I stuck it in me pocket and I took it home to Jenny. She smiled and she swore that she never would betray me, but the devil take that woman, for you know she done me easy. Mushering 'em, doom a die. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went up to me chambers just for to take a slumber. I dreamed of gold and jewels and for sure 'twas no wonder. But Jenny pulled me charges and she filled them up with water. Then she sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. Mushering 'em, doom a die. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I rose up the next morning just for to take my travels. I found a band of footmen and like Captain Farrell, I first produced the pistol, for she stole away my rapier. But I couldn't shoot for water, so a prisoner I was taken. Mushering 'em, doom a die. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
Hello everybody, this is Garrett. You're watching Love and Bang Bang. This is one of those rare occasions where I am out here today and I'm shooting a flintlock. And I'm actually kind of in my flintlock garb a little bit. The vest isn't quite right, but everything else is pretty good. So, what is the story on this one? This one, move away cameraman, as you can tell, is a double barrel flintlock pistol. This one's from Military Heritage. And I've done some work to this one. Stripped that shellac off, did a linseed oil finish on it, and then I did something kind of experimental. I took and I did a browning job on it, but instead of using browning solution, I just spent a week spritzing it with salt water and then curing it the way you would a regular browning job, and then tried to kill it with some oil. It's still a little bit not quite dead, and I'm not sure I like the results because it came out pretty spotty. So I'm probably going to wind up taking and sanding it back down and trying something a little bit different. Turns out the spritzing with salt water wasn't the best way to go. I do have Laurel Mountain Forge browning solution. That's what I generally use, but like I said, just an experiment. But anyway, this is the Military Heritage double barrel flintlock pistol, and what we got here is we have 2 barrels in .62 caliber, and you could load these with paper cartridges. I'm not going to go deep into the history. This is just a kind of for fun video we're doing today. Ethan will be out later to do more of a historical video, but this one's just kind of for fun, and we're going to be loading shot, round ball, and bucking ball, and some buckshot. But for starters, I have my handy dandy 40 grain powder charge here, which, like I said, you could do this with paper cartridges. I'm going to set the pistol down. I'm going to go ahead and fill my powder measure with 40 grains. By the way, guys, this is our homemade 3F. You could use 2F in this, but that's just what I had in my powder horn. Round ball. We're just going to go ahead. This is going to be a bear ball, and I dumped that in the, that barrel. I'm going to take a card fiber wad, bite it in half. Now that side is wet with spit, and I'm just going to push it down on top of the ball. Now, historically, of course, they wouldn't have had that cardboard wad, but it works for our purposes. Then we're going to do the process over again. Then, point in a safe direction. We have both of our hammers on half cock. We're going to prime the pans. Like I said, guys, this would be a lot easier to do with paper cartridges, and probably was done that way historically. All right. Keeping everything in a safe direction, we are ready to go. Let's go over here and put a few on the Ghost of Cowboy Bob. All right, so this is not what I would call a precision instrument. Hard enough to shoot a short-barreled, smoothbore flintlock pistol. When you add another barrel into the equation, it gets even more difficult because you're not exactly aiming down center. So we're going to go ahead and cock both hammers. All right, if we get a spark, let's go for Cowboy Bob. I'm going to start with the right barrel. And I missed. Could you tell where?
Went high.
Went high. All right. Well, that's why you have a double barrel pistol. You have a back barrel. The same load. And flinch. I do need to sharpen those flints. Where'd that one go?
Right.
To the right. Well, like I said, not a precision gun, but that is about 20 yards. Let's step it up and make it a little bit closer. All right, I've resharpened my flints. We've moved this bad boy up to 10 yards. Now let's try to get a hit on him. I believe we smacked him that time. Flinch. And we missed with the left-hand barrel. Like I said, it's a little bit of a difficult deal, and I'm not the best flintlock shooter in the world. However, I do enjoy this little double barrel pistol. Let's try something a little bit different. All right, let's see if we can kill this water jug here at about 7 yards. No promises. Hey, we hit it. Let's see if we can knock it down again. We hit it again, I think. Yes. We have 2 exit holes, one here and one here. Hey, that's only 7 yards, but for me, that's pretty good. All right, so I've loaded 1 barrel there. Now I'm switching over to a 1F powder because about out of 3F today in my horn. All right, this is a homemade 1F powder, 40 grains. And what we're going to attempt to do is put some shot on some stuff. Now we're going to put a wad down, half of a cardboard wad, on each of those charges of powder. And that's what he's doing right now. And I'm going to take, by the way, this is the kind of pistol you really want to stand for to load. But I'm going to take and use my historically accurate shot dispenser. It has a piece of flint in it for some reason.
That's a brown best one.
Never been used. All right, square load of Birdshot. This is number 6, I believe. And by the way, guys, Birdshot out of a little old gun like this, probably not going to do too good, especially in a defensive situation where the highwaymen are upon you or the coachman shooting back at the highwaymen. But Birdshot is what we are using right now. We're going to cover that up with another wad on each side. All right, we'll get back to the firing line, prime up, and see if we can hit that jug again. All right, guys, let's see if we can hit this jug with a little bit of Birdshot. All right, now, as you can see, we peppered that. Funny thing is, Birdshot with that little charge of powder and that short barrel, like we have 1 BB, tuck my gun up there, stuck in the lid, didn't even get through the first layer of water jug. So, yeah, interesting.
Sounds like there's some BBs
There's
in
a
it.
few in there, yeah, a few got through. They definitely didn't go out the back. So, in this particular case, Birdshot not good for a defensive weapon. Only in this particular case.
Unless you add a little powder behind it, then it would be.
I don't know, that was 40 grain charge. All right, so like I said, we're not shooting paper today, so we're not actually getting patterning. We're kind of just testing this gun out a little bit. And another way these things would have been loaded would have been with bucking ball. Since we're not wadding it, there's several ways you can do this. This is the way I'm doing it today. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a round ball down each barrel, 60 caliber. And then I'm going to put 2 .36 caliber round balls down each barrel. So technically in the gun we have 6 projectiles. And we're going to see if that doesn't help our hit ratio quite a bit on this little bitty smoothbore double barrel pistol. Now, obviously, this is almost, you got to think about this like a Derringer. No sights, no anything, you know, and it's even worse than a single barrel because obviously you're looking down the rib and they're going different directions. And possibly on these India-made guns anyway, they're probably not too aligned, shall we say, in the barrels, which probably wasn't the case with the originals either. So you're looking at this would be a good one for the tavern, shall we say. This would be what we would call in the 19th century for card table distances. But it's also good for a highwayman or a coachman defending from highwaymen. All right, let's go back out here to, let's see if we can put one on these railroad plates by getting close and using buck and ball. All right, guys, here we are, 7 yards on the railroad plates. Keep everything pointed in a safe direction. Try to give them what for. Hey, we got a hit on that one. We got 2 hits on that one. Let's go for the center. And we hit both of those. Buck and ball might be the key here. Let's see what we got, yeah. On this plate, we have 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. And on this plate, we have 1, 2. Possibly 3. Yeah, 3. We got all of them on each of them. Those 2 outlaws, those 2 highwaymen are having a bad day, so long as we don't get out more than about 5 yards. Let's step back just a little bit further and see what we can do. All right, so here we are back at 20 yards. Earlier, I had trouble hitting old Cowboy Bob with a round ball at this range out of this pistol. So let's, and I know I'm not a very good flintlock pistol shot. Let's try this with a charge of buck and ball, same charge as we had earlier. Ooh, I think we hurt him that time. But not the right left hand. Anyway, well, at least we got a few pellets on him. Let's go see what we got done. Okay guys, 20 yards, we got 2 of them on him. One of them, I believe the main ball hit right here. And we had a buckshot hit there. I don't believe that's from anything we shot just now. So yeah, 20 yards maximum effective range. And I probably pulled that other barrel off, but it is just about as likely that with that much of a spread at 20 yards, it went all the way around it. So yeah, 15 yards might be a better deal. But like I said, this isn't for shooting over the Grand Canyon. This is for defending your home or defending your coach or possibly robbing a stagecoach. Never thought of that, did we? Anyway, there's one more load I want to try today.
But my clothes aren't right.
So, watching the, I watch a lot of Jamestown Museum. I think it's JYF Museum's YouTube channel. Go check them out. But it wasn't necessarily on their channel, but at the Jamestown Museum. They excavated a well in the, if I can get any more powder out of this. They excavated a well in the old colony. Anyway, when they were excavating this well, they found this Roman lock pistol in it. And when they set it on the, when they x-rayed it basically, they found it interesting that it had, of course it was a single barrel snap-ons pistol, but it had 2 round balls in the barrel on top of a regular powder charge. So I got to looking around, and sure enough, a lot of these old guns that they x-ray have a standard powder charge and 2 regular sized round balls sitting on top of it. So we're going to give that a go. I guarantee you this one's going to have a little more of a kick, but we're just going to see here. Go ahead and tamp them down there, pistol holder. We're going to see here what happens if we load 2 round balls and a 40 grain charge of powder. See what happens. See if we get a lot better hit probability. And they're still pretty heavy round balls. They're going to be, that means they're going to be moving probably about half the speed they normally would be. But still, 2 pretty big heavy round balls. Let's see if we can put something on that propane tank over there. On the propane bottle. Woo, they do kick substantially harder. Well, I heard one hit the board above it. I can actually see where it hit. So I'm having a little bit of trouble with my left-hand lock here, and I don't know if it's the gun or I've had it apart and back together so many times. But the fact of the matter is the gun works pretty well. And obviously I'm not the guy to be reviewing a Flintlock pistol. That's more of Ethan's deal. I don't shoot them very often at all, but this one is mine. And I kind of like it just because it's a little bit different. Fit and finish, you know, it's a little rough, just like most military heritage guns, but you know, you can get this gun for under $400, so it's not too bad a deal. Might require a little bit of work, but you know, other than that, it seems to have really decent triggers, and you know, it goes off most of the time, which is pretty good for an India-made gun. And I really don't have a whole lot more to say about it other than that. You know, I don't have much history on this. These guns have been around, double barrel Flintlocks have been around since the 1600s, and pretty popular with the highwaymen and the like, because if you're a highwayman, obviously you can afford a horse and a saddle, so you can probably afford a double barrel pistol, and 2 barrels in these situations is always better than 1. In my opinion, the best load we shot through this today was the buck and ball load, and I'm pretty sure that anywhere within reasonable distance, actually pretty much reasonable handgun distance even for modern handguns, up to about 20 yards, you're going to do all right with a buck and ball load. Now, what I want to do is have Ethan come out here and shoot this again, but I want to pair it up with Caleb's double barrel smoothbore Flintlock long gun. Fowler, and that would be cool to have 4 barrels at all times. You know, at that point you're basically a walking assault weapon in the 16 and 1700s. Anyway, trust in God, keep your powder dry. Bye.